Regular scheduled meeting of Lawrence City Council for June 21st is now called to order. Did you get the invitation?
Dear Lord, thank you that we can all make it out here today and help us to have wisdom to do your work and the city's work and help all those in the military and those that are sick. In Jesus' name I pray.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Citizens' comments, we have one person who has signed in, and he's outside right now.
We're taking care of it, so.
Take care of it. There are no citizens' comments. There are 4 consent items, A and B, minutes of election canvass on May 5th, 2018, and minutes of regular scheduled meeting on May 7th, 17th, 2018. Has everyone read those?
Yes. I believe that we accept the minutes, A and B.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes. Reports. Trust that you've read those. You've noticed that there are some missing. And you know why. Okay.
I move that we accept reports 5-1 through 5-8, A and B as reported.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? Okay. Passes. Action item 6.1, review, discussion, of possible action on presentation by the City Park Committee regarding suggested improvements to the city park. Who is speaking to that? I'll speak to that. Yes, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. First of all, thank you for letting us come in here and talk to you about it. We had a meeting with the council at the park last Monday night, and there's been some confusion and some speculation of the fact that we were gonna go in there and tear a bunch of trees out and just ransack the area. We went down and marked the trees that we felt like needed to come out, and the maximum number of trees that we see that may need removal could be anywhere from 7 to 10. 2 of those are damaged and leaning. One of them has the top missing and it's dying. And there are some others that need to be removed to facilitate the parking for visitors. We're trying to have more parking areas. We've designated 2 parking areas that we would like to put in, one by the bathrooms, and that should yield up to 6 new spaces. And we'll have to have 2 trees removed, one at each end. But a standard parking space, I went out and looked at it, is 9 feet wide, and there's approximately 54 feet there. So that should be close to 6 new spaces there. Then across the street from there, we'll need to remove probably 4 or 5 trees, depending upon how the layout is, but that's been marked for anywhere from 54 to 56 feet, which will give us an additional 7 parking spaces, which are drastically needed at this point in time. What we would like to do down where the boat ramp area is and will be is clean that up a little bit. There's a couple of trees that can be removed on the south side that do not infringe on anybody else's property. We would like to mark that area and gravel it so that we will have parking for probably up to 10 to 12 cars and boat trailers. We're not sure about the boundary marking because we're not really in favor of using railroad ties, so we're looking at options on that. We met, as you're aware of, we met with the playground equipment company, and estimates are running somewhere 35 to 50,000 depending upon some different types of equipment. Everything will be ADA. It'll also include a field surface that's soft, much like you would see underneath an existing turf football field, something like that. It's supposed to be all safety oriented, which is going to reduce the risk of injury on anybody playing on the equipment. And to do that, that's gonna facilitate removing the witch's hat and the merry-go-round that are there because they are, the age of them and the risk of injury, pardon me, have shown that they need to be removed, so those two items will be removed. We've also designated an area that we would like to fix for senior citizens to come down and be able to pull in out of the turnaround, designated as one way, so they'll be able to park closer, get out, and have easier accessibility to the area around the swimming pool and playground equipment, and maybe have some equipment there for them to walk on. All that's based on, turnaround on that's based on the city's ability to help us. There's some drainage issues that they're looking at. They're gonna help us fix those. Ms. Brown's been in contact with them on that. She's taking care of that. Also, some of the equipment that's down there, a couple of the swing sets and maybe one or two other items, we would like to move those items from the park now over to the east side of Highway 259. And to do that, we understand that there may have to be a couple of lots that need to be cleared off over there. But what we want to do is put some of that equipment over there because it's not fair to do everything at the park and not include the people on the other side of 259. Eventually, as the money comes in and if we get any more money, we would like to do the same thing on that side of 259 that we're doing at the main park area. That just depending upon funds in the future. We also discussed the fact that taking out trees means that we probably need to replace trees. We want to replace them with hardwood trees that are more resistant to damage and rot. The life expectancy will be a little bit longer. Haven't really figured out how we're going to do that yet. I've been brainstorming and thinking something maybe along the lines of having families or individuals maybe sponsor a tree and see what we can come up with that and get them to sponsor a tree. And we'll plant it, you know, a little plaque by it or whatever. I mean, something to get the citizens of the community involved. Also, Sandy, Duke, and I went down today to Lone Star Industries, and we met with Rodney Bird, and they are willing to, at this point in time, commit up to $10,000 to this project.
Fantastic.
So, what they're doing is they're having some items down there that their company is going to scrap metal, and they've estimated that they may bring in anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but whatever they are bringing in, they have said that they will donate that to the park committee to start this project. So, it remains to be seen on the dollar amount, but right now, that's where we stand. Talked to Mr. Livingston, talked to Mona, and I think we're gonna have a dig test done, is that correct down there? So we can make sure that there's no underground lines or anything that would be interfered with the removal of those dead trees, the ones that are lean, and then we'll progress from there. So, there's not really a time frame on a finish date, but we'd like to get it going and get it done as quickly as possible. So, that's kind of where we stand.
I understand that you had a forester that came in and assessed the trees in that area and more or less chose those that he felt were at risk or
Yes, sir.
short-term trees.
Yeah, we don't want to remove anything that's not at risk or that already shows enough damage to where it's gone. So we'll just come and get those out of there. And it's my understanding the possibility of the removal of those trees may not cost us anything, which will greatly enhance our success of the project. So,
Any questions or discussion?
I'm on the park committee, so what we're asking from the board is just, I guess, a go ahead that we can start pursuing this, you know, with the big, you know, whatever we need to do to start pursuing taking the trees down.
Okay.
So, and I
Sure.
apologize, I
No, that's
wasn't
okay.
able to make it to the meeting there. Why are we not putting the parking over where the boats typically park, all the way up that stretch that's already cleared?
we are, but part of it is, part of the reason we want to put those parking spaces by the restrooms and right across the street is ease of accessibility to the restrooms, because we're gonna have to get those fixed, as well as parents being able to park and get out, the playground equipment being right there and not have to park halfway across the county, so to speak, and walk over there. It would just give more ease of accessibility. Plus, you get some elderly people down there, and 60, 70 years old, they can't walk very good. There are a couple of picnic tables down there, and if they wanted to come down there and walk around and get this other thing fixed, we need to have the accessibility for them to get there quickly, so that's where it's at.
The sweepers came by and they swept up the road after this
Okay.
was all done on 259 here recently. They collected all the excess gravel and they placed it over there next to the Shamrock. Talking to them to see if we can get a hold of that, because they
Yeah,
cannot
that'd be
reuse
great.
that on the highway because it has debris in
Yeah.
it. But there's nothing wrong with it if we can get a hold of that because it's non-usable
Sure.
and use that for part of the boat park.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Anything we can get for
Well,
free.
I asked one of the sweepers and I have a phone number, but I haven't been able to call it.
Yeah.
Anything we can get for free, we're all for it.
So,
It's a great addition to the community. It's been many years since it's been improved upon.
well, and I've been out to look at the website, and when I pull up the park, there's good comments about it, it's friendly and all that stuff, but it hasn't been upgraded. And it would be better if, they would enhance what's there or redo some stuff, so people from out of town who come in would get a better impression, or would draw more attention. So, I mean, it's a starting point. By all means, it's not the fix-all, but it is a starting point to draw, which if we got it fixed, then the potential of having more events and doing some other things down there, we could move forward with that too. I'm looking at the possibility, my son and I are looking at the possibility, pardon me, of going in and cleaning up the softball fields, baseball fields, maybe getting some of the chain link fencing either replaced or painting and doing some stuff like that so we can make it usable. Because my understanding is, as an example, Dangerfield has a youth softball tournament up there a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't have enough fields. Well, guess what? We have the fields, the potential of having them use it, even if it's for 1 or 2 games on Saturday, brings people into this town, which gives us an opportunity to showcase what we do down there when we get through it. So, I mean, there's a lot of different.
The company that came down and presented their playground equipment, the lady that was with us, she actually brought her children back to play in the playground, to our park. And she doesn't even live here. But she came back because she said our park was so pretty. So, I think just to enhance it, I think it's a win-win for the community.
Any more questions or discussion?
Can anybody say anything? Or does?
No, so there would be citizens' comments at that point, so I'm going to have to withhold comments to the council. But thank you.
I guess my big thing is 30 to 50,000 is a big range. Before I want to put down a vote, I really want to know a little bit tighter exactly what's planned and what we're getting for those dollars.
But we're not asking for the money right now. All we're asking for is just the trees, to clear out trees.
I could address that.
Please.
What my plan is, as we start putting this together, I'm gonna put together a spreadsheet with a low, a high, and a median cost. And what I wanna do is get all those figures down as close as possible. Nothing's gonna be, concrete 100%. But I'm gonna get those figures down as close as we can get, like on the playground equipment and like cost of trees, things like that. And then I'm gonna prepare that spreadsheet and bring it and present it to the council and say, here's our low, here's our high, and here's our median. So you can actually see dollar amounts on paper that'll give you more of a warm fuzzy, so to speak.
Does anyone know the number of trees total that are there? Did anybody do that?
I didn't do a full count,
Oh, gosh.
there's a bunch of them.
There's over 50, anywhere from 50 to 70.
Or more. Yeah. They're rigid.
Within,
That,
line of
just,
sight, yeah.
yes.
Say the percentage you're taking out is relatively minor in lieu of what you're trying to accomplish.
And I understand that. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of how many citizens that we had concerned about the number of trees that were going out.
Here is I got this from Morris County. This is just an overhead view, kind of giving you an idea, this is the area we're talking about. just going through there, I'm guessing probably around 50 right in here. So if you remove the 7, probably gonna be over this area right here, you're not really gonna take away from what's there, it's just selective. You know, some of them need to be removed anyway.
Sure, right.
So we're just talking about maybe a total of 7,
Okay, then I would be prepared to vote on a maximum number, you know, where we just said, okay, yeah, I'll agree to allowing up to, let's say it's 10, is that number, or 7, or whatever. I don't want to leave it open
How many
saying, yeah,
trees
you
did
can
you-
cut trees, and then all of a sudden we're surprised with,
No, how many trees did you say y'all was gonna cut? He did say that when he first started talking
You did
about
say
it.
7 to 10.
Yeah.
And that, of course, that is pending now, and I'm putting a caveat on there. If we go through there and find 1 or 2 more that, up in the tops, that they can't be topped and they may be damaged, that's something that will need to come out. But nothing more that is a tree that's still viable will be removed. Only the minimum amount that we need to get done, what we need to get done.
Yeah, we're only taking out what
Yeah.
the foresters.
And we
have
marked
said.
them the other night and had the council walk through and kind of look at what we had there. And I think there was a total of like 7 or 8. So 10 is a little bit outside the range, and that's giving us some leeway in case we find a couple more.
and I'm prepared to vote on, if we pick that number as 10, then yes, I can vote on that. I just don't want to leave it open.
I don't think it needs to be open-ended, I mean, even if we agree on 10, and then as they're doing what they need to do, they finally maybe.
Sure, they can certainly come back and say,
They
hey,
come
we
back.
found
Yeah,
issues.
they come
And
back.
if we do, believe me, and I think everybody that was there the other night knows well enough that if we do, before anything's done, we'll come back to you and say, hey, come and look at
That's
this.
correct.
Because I feel like that's what needs to be done. It doesn't need to be anything done outside the parameters of what
I
we're.
just know how concerned our citizens were.
Sure,
I
absolutely.
understand that.
I agree.
Well, they was thinking, you know, if you went, and I drove down there several times, I mean, there was X's all
Oh,
over.
but yeah, I looked at it, it looked like there wasn't gonna be
Yeah,
a lot.
that's what they really got upset about.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
And
Now
that's
we're
just
looking
simply
at,
not gonna happen.
at possibly maybe 10, it may be 12 after they get through doing it, you know, which I think the people of the city would agree that that's a reasonable number. You know, but like you said, if they get to doing it and find 1 or 2 more that needs to be done before they take them down, they'll need to come back to us and get their approval.
So do you want to choose an arbitrary number and then go forward with an okay?
That would be my opinion. I do have one more question.
Sure.
When we take a tree out, are we leaving a stump, or are we
No,
letting the stump
stump's
come
coming out also.
Okay.
So do I hear a motion?
I move that we go with the 10 trees that he has told us about. And if there's more, he will come back to the council and talk to us about it before you remove.
That's okay with that.
All
But
in
they
favor,
still
say
move
aye.
up to the 10.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it passes. 6-2, review, discussion, possible action by the council on the city park boat ramp.
An update on the boat ramp project. Matter came up of ownership on certain sections of the park, so I dug deeper. And I meant to bring my map, but according to the appraisal district, there's a sharp angle part of the park that's the swimming area, what looks like and the boat ramp and dock area are owned what looks like by Jerry Foster's estate. So Stephen and I are supposed to be meeting with Mark Foster at some point. Stephen's been super busy this week. And so we're gonna speak with him about getting in the immediate permission to proceed with any renovations. The other part is about the part under the water where the boat ramp is being owned by U.S. Steel. I am in contact with U.S. Steel to get some sort of, again, interim agreement pending the actual conveyance of the section of the park, or the underwater section of the park. So, working on that. Right now, we've got contract time suspended on the boat ramp with the contractor for a month, so we can see where we're at in a month and kind of reassess.
So we're gonna open the ramp back up.
That, I've thought back and forth on that of, do we go ahead and open it back up, let everybody still use it, and then have to go back through all this, or do we leave it closed? So, that's more than welcome.
I think it's good usage time, but I also think we should probably put a sign up saying, use at your own caution and be careful, So I don't know how that wording would go, but if we have somebody who visits, we're gonna rip the bottom of their trailer.
Well, they've been doing it anyway.
Yeah. Most-
I mean, the citizens know, to the one side and all that, but we have guests who wouldn't know that. Or if you're on a large boat.
So what you say is, get somebody to do a sign, put it up there, and let them know what's going on there.
Temporary,
That's what I'm saying.
something just to warn people.
Yeah.
It's a crappy boat for him.
I didn't believe it.
Scheduled replacement, 30 days, please be cautious of rough conditions, I don't know, just something.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but you want a sign there,
I mean,
and explain it to them.
Damage in that boat, and they come.
I like this health part that says,
You know I'm no good with
boat trailer damage possible, use with caution.
So you want to put up a sign advising people you're on risk, and we can put something on there to the effect of potential damage to your trailer, let them know what could occur, and kind of close it in. So we'll open it back up, is that what I'm hearing, and we'll put off, table this for right now, is that what you're saying?
Keep the contractors halted, paused, open it up, put a sign up, and readdress this when we get the details.
Do I hear a motion to pause it for a month?
A motion. A motion to pause this until we can figure out exactly what Mark Foster, if he'll allow us, and if USD will allow us with program to proceed in fixing.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay. 6-3, review discussion possible action on section 4 of ordinance 241-C regarding the allowance of burning in ditches, including concrete ditches. Our Marshal R. Livingston will address the council on this matter. Mr. Livingston, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
have the floor regarding the issue of burn.
Burned in. Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council. Here about 2 or 3 weeks ago, months ago, someone came to y'all and wanted to lift the ordinance on burning in ditches. And in our bylaws, we've had them in our bylaws for years. And the reason why we've had them in our bylaws, how many of y'all has driven down Wild Road? Okay, you know they're on the left-hand side where the big ditch and stuff is? It used to not be like that. It used to be smaller. And it's because if they were burning in the ditches, and what it's doing is the fire is taking the moisture out of the ground and it's killing the roots. And whenever it comes to rain, then there goes your dirt. And also, the people that's living there, after they see, well, the people's not living there no more, but the ones that was, it's already started going into their yard, taking some of their yard. And what I'm asking, if the council don't put this here back on, put no burning in the ditches. And one of them says it's 10 foot from the pavement. And also when they burn, if they got a pretty good burn pile there, all right, it also get that pavement hot. And when it gets that oil hot, then the oil won't start coming up. And so the gentleman come, I know who he is, and he had a bad ditch. And the people that lived on that road ran off in that ditch, trying to miss the cars. And the ditch has been taken care of. The ditch is fixed where if a car has to move over, they can move over now. And we just need to keep it that way. And then they're on down north of there, it needs to be addressed too. And so we need to, instead of I don't know the proper word to say, settle his needs. We need to take a look at the whole picture, what it's doing. And so my recommendations to the council is, I'd put it back on.
I make a motion that we reinstate the previous ordinance where we ban burning in the ditches.
I second.
Second, all in favor, say aye. You're opposed? Okay. One opposed? Yeah, aye. Okay, it passes. We have a burn ban in the ditches, sir. 6-4, review discussion possible action regarding 2.36% rate increase proposed by Sanitation Solutions. Any discussion?
I don't need to discuss it, they're not doing nothing, so, no. They got a raise last year, they ain't done nothing, the service is lousy, it's getting worse every week, so, no, for me, I don't know about nobody else, I said no.
But we have a contract.
It doesn't matter, we don't have to give them a raise, we don't have to do a raise, no.
They bid in order to get the job, get the work from us, and to come back every year and ask for more money. Why don't we go back to them every year and say we want to pay less money? I mean, it's the same difference. So I don't see that why we even bother to have a contract if they're going to continue coming back and asking for more money.
But see, that's what I'm saying, what we need to do is look for somebody else.
We had discussed before about opening bids to allow
That's what I'm
other
saying,
places.
we need to just let them go, because the service is lousy. They leave your trash can sitting out in the middle of the street, they didn't get them out there in the middle of the street, you come on, your trash can sitting in the middle of the road. Now, I don't know about over there, I don't guess they care, but we pay for service just like everybody else, so they need to do better, and the service is lousy, half the trash is still in the can. So if you wanna bring him in, him sit there, I'll say the same thing to him.
No,
If it's lousy,
I think we should.
no,
The way the contract is written is it auto renews on a schedule, and I think we need to put it out to bid before our auto renewal and put a halt to the auto renewal.
that's it. I
I
agree.
agree.
Yeah, cause I'm sitting there.
Okay, so, do I hear a
No,
motion?
he's, no,
Oh, I'm
he's
sorry,
over
sir.
here.
My
He's over-
apologies.
No, he's over here.
My
He's
apologies.
looking.
I'm trying to get a word in edgewise.
He's trying, he's trying.
Okay.
I know in 2016, when they came, you know, we did give them a 5% increase, you know, over that. The way, you know, just like Jerry was saying, I mean, it seems to me like the service is getting better. But the reason they wanted in 2016 the increase is because they was having to come from Paris. You know,
Now they didn't give them a tax.
now they moved over, got a property or whatever over in Gilbert, which is not near as far as it is from Paris. The deal says they're asking for it because of insurance, fuel costs, and equipment costs, you know, maintenance and all that. Well, you know, they're 40 miles closer over in Gilbert where they come from than they are in Paris.
They should bid accordingly. If they're bidding, if they're throwing their hat in the ring with a contract, then they should.
I think
We
we should-
notify them and they can bid like any other.
I think so too.
The contract, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a 10-year contract.
It was a 5-year contract. The initial term was 5 years, starting February 3rd, 2009, and ending February 2nd, 2014, with the renewal provision that the initial term of the contract would be extended for a successive 5-year term, which would put the end time at February 2nd, 2019.
I mean, you know, if we, which I'm in favor of not granting them their increase, but before the contract ends next year, put it out for bids, you know, see if we can get somebody else in.
And see, you need to start working on that now, because 2019 is what,
Yeah,
6 months
6
away.
months away.
So I'm sick of this.
You know, we do run the small risk of an increase if nobody else bids or everybody bids higher. The auto renewal would save us money, but I think the risk of that is slim compared to just simply giving them more money because they ask.
That's what I'm saying, every year they're coming back. Last year was 5%, this year is what,
2%,
2.36? Next year year, what's it gonna be? 4-1, 4-6? No,
I would mean two.
I don't even have no trash sometimes,
Just,
so I'm sick of it.
You know, Dangerfield, I think, uses Republic or whatever. You know, of course, it's a little more population, you know, more poly carts and dumpsters or whatever it is. But they pick their trash up twice a week in Dangerfield, where, you know, theirs is not, I don't think it's as much as what we're paying compared to what Sanitation Solution is charging.
At the previous time, did someone come here to propose the 5% increase from the?
Oh, yeah, they have to represent them.
So I, you know, I'll agree that we decline the increase.
So I hear an official motion.
We declined the 2.3. A second?
Second.
Whoa, who made the motion?
I did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Every Jerry,
All right.
I did that.
And who made the second? Lynn. So that is to deny the
rate
increase.
and open for bid at the end of our contract.
It's not on the-
It's not, yeah, no, we can't.
Yeah, it needs to be on the
But it's a-
agenda for next.
Good thought, nonetheless, so, okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None, okay, passes, denied. 6-5, review, discussion, possible action on the Texas Municipal League and the Government Employees Benefits Pool insurance rates for the 2018-2019 year. Ms. Wally, would you address that?
Okay. You've all, in your book, you've got some new plan options. In the top left corner, you see the current rates. We currently have a $500 in-network deductible, $750 out-of-network deductible, $1,500 in-network out-of-pocket, and it's 80%, 80-20% coverage once you meet your deductible. It's 50% covered by the insurance company for out-of-network once you meet your deductible. Once you meet the $1,500 out-of-pocket, the plan covers 100% in-network. Currently, the premiums, the city pays for the employees' medical and dental, and then there's an accidental death and life policy that the city pays for. If the employee wants additional coverage for the life insurance, they pay for the additional coverage. They also pay for vision, and if they want any dependent spouse, kids, family, that's out of the employee's pocket. So current, with the new rates, there's no change to dental or vision. Those are going to stay the same. Those are in this separate handout y'all got, show kind of a breakdown on the proposed rates, which are a 20% increase. Because we are part of a pool, the rates are based on your exposure from year to year. So how many claims you had the previous year impacts how they charge you. If you have few to no claims, it'll be reflected accordingly. Your rate will shift. It's not like typical market insurance to where they're just gonna progressively increase your rate to death. Last year, we had no increase.
When was the last time we had a decrease?
That I don't know. But it does happen. And when I've gone to the meetings, there are cities that actually get refunds.
Is the risk cost ratio based on our employees, or is it as the whole pool?
It's, they break everything down by region, and they will show you the increase for that region, but it is based on our city, because these are our rates. The pool is there to kind of absorb bigger hits, but also kind of absorb, it absorbs either way. It's a lot more forgiving and friendly than your typical like Blue Cross, Aetna, Humana. Let's see, last year we had no increase. I think the year before it might have been 5% increase. But to the right, in that left corner, shows the projected rates for the 20% increase. There's $103.90 difference in the individual premium. Right now, we have 11 employees on the plan, times 12 months, you're looking at $13,700 increase for the year on premiums out of the city's pocket. In the middle of the page, there are 4 options, and it shows you the different percentages of increase. The biggest, the main differences in all those options are your deductibles and your out-of-pocket. And then there's, only one of them have a different selection for the prescription coverage. The least increase is option 3. But that's the one that has the different prescription, and they lay out in the bottom the difference in the prescription coverage. We've got really pretty good prescription coverage. And I said the least increase, you're looking at option 3, and that's a $9,728 increase for the year. That's calculating 11 employees.
So when do we have to have an answer for them?
I've got to let them know by the end of this month. And we just got this re-rate, it was between meetings, it was after last month's meeting.
And as a TML affiliated insurance company, they should know how cities work, and that, because we're talking about an extra $9,000 to $11,000, $9,000 to $13,000, I think, increase that we as a city have to budget for. And how do we budget for an increase that we have to answer in 2 weeks? Because it is my opinion that this insurance is really, really good. It's also costly. And I would love to see some options in an HSA or maybe some other third-party insurance providers so that we have a comparison and make a good decision on best use of taxpayer dollars. But it doesn't seem we have the time to.
You don't want to, Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Well, none of them are good.
I mean, I'm talking about the rates, I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about the rates. The rates is way more right here.
These are great policies, more so than I've ever had in my lifetime. You know, deductibles are lower than I've ever had, you know, HSAs are usually cheaper, and, you know, I just think before they throw us at a $13,000 increase, we should have at least time to have an option. I wish the best for all the employees and would love to give them everything, but we have budgets we have to deal with.
Would you agree? In our time frame that we have, we also want to retain the employees that we have. We are extremely thin. When you lose that kind of experience, it affects the quality of life here, how well we hold the infrastructure together, which is ancient as we know, and we work on diligently to try to replace. So there's a backside to that too, and I hear you and I agree we want to get the most bang for the buck, but
This is
albeit that we
$1,000
only
raise
have
per employee. I know they don't see it as a raise, but it's an additional $1,000 per employee that we're spending, so it's significant.
I agree.
But they don't get a raise per se,
No,
and they don't really make a lot of money.
but this is, and I totally get that, but this is a golden package. I mean, these are really good. This is cheap deductibles, you know, all those things that I've never had. You know, My current insurance policy, I have to pay $6,000 out of pocket before it picks up a dime. And I'm not saying that mine's better or worse than anybody else's, it's just that I think this is a really golden policy, and I don't know that we can continue to pay for these.
The insurance goes from July to
It's our fiscal year, it's the year for our insurance, so it's October through September.
October through September.
So open enrollment is September, it ends in September, so that they've got time to process everything and have everything go in place.
Honestly, I just think we're backed in a corner, and I don't like being put in this position. And I think we should, at minimum, let them know that we're not gonna do this again next year.
I think we can holler all we want to, but I don't think it'll make any difference.
Well,
you
we
do
can
with the
start,
state.
we can start
It's not
6 months
gonna
earlier looking for the other policies.
But like I said, the other policy's gonna be a lot more than this, in case, you can go online and find out for yourself. Edna and all of them, there's a lot more hires than this.
Mine's $450 a month. And this is going up to over 600 a month.
Yeah, but look what you're
That's
getting
cheap.
too.
Exactly.
But our employees can't afford to pay $6,000 out of pocket.
I can't either.
And we'll lose
Some
our
of them-
employees.
Some of them is not even sick, some of them doesn't even use it, and they paying for their families, their wives and their kids and stuff. And after a certain age, the kids, they can't care of the kids anyway.
So that, I understand we're backed in a corner. I say we have to address this in our budget meetings for this year, for next year, for this time next year, to address this
That's exactly.
so that we're not backed into a corner.
Well, see, that's one it would be on the next budget, because you can't do nothing this year, because the budget for this year is already there.
And
So it will start with a new budget in September.
if the insurance goes from October to September, like that, then, to me, whichever way you decide, if we do go with this, it wouldn't really go into effect until October.
Right now, the new rates won't go into effect until October.
Right. So why are we having to get it by the end of this month to let them know if we can accept
Because
it?
this is the state.
Well, because
It's
the
the
rate,
law.
they've gotta get
It's their
everything
rules.
in
That's
place,
their
well, no,
rules.
they've gotta get everything in place in order for this to be able to roll out. So when I re-enroll everybody
Which would be in
in,
September.
it's in August, first part of September, then it just, that's their time frame to get everything rolled out, get new cards out.
The deadline they've set.
It is their rules.
I just think it's not acceptable to drop this on us with 2 weeks to decide.
Well, you can call them and tell them that.
I will. I have no problem with that.
Going forward, I'll be at the Weir Box in the morning. Do I hear a motion? What do you want to do? We have to make a call on this.
Out of our options, I like option 4. I don't know if y'all looked at all of these or not. Option 4, for each expense, it's a slight increase, but it's nothing that should affect any of them based on their income too drastically, since we are under a deadline. So I make a motion that we accept option 4.
I'll set it up. I bet you. It's okay.
I've had a motion to accept option 4, and a second. All in
Second.
favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? Option 4 passes.
And I will pass on the thoughts of the council, the
Say
leader.
thoughts of me.
No, well, no, it is, but the leadership of IUP, the leadership of IUP is very accessible and very much listens to the members of the pool. They very much member-oriented, member-governed situation.
And I have no problem calling them personally. If you-
And they
you
would
know,
love to hear from you. I don't, obviously not.
Sure, I just don't think it's right the way cities work, and they tell it because that's what they deal with all day. They can't do this. So,
Voted on through 6-6, review discussion Possible action to schedule budget workshops for the 2018-2019 fiscal year since we're on the subject.
I do want to put out that I don't generally get numbers from the appraisal district for property taxes until mid-July. So that will cover figuring general fund and budgeting.
Typically have a few meetings.
Yes.
But I would think you should try and have one before you, that's in a row, and one after you get the numbers.
Before the property tax numbers, you can always chew on water and sewer.
So I think that's probably good. As far as dates, it doesn't matter.
Suggestion for a date then to schedule the first meeting?
We're gonna have the first one before the council meeting next week or after.
Last year, we had one, right before the July council meeting, and then we had another one, 2 weeks later.
The 2nd through the 7th next month, I'll be gone.
The July council meeting is the 19th.
You'll be back when?
I'll be back that July.
So what date would that put us on?
What about July 12th?
July 12th? I can't look that far ahead and look at my schedule and tell you what I can do and what I can't do.
We can plan for July 12th, that sounds good to me.
And if something imminent comes up, or if things shift, you know, we can adjust before things get posted. Stay in communication.
I mean, if we, the way it is
What
right now,
time?
if we do July the 12th for the first meeting, which will be before the council meeting.
So that'd be the week before the council.
Yeah, and then you said last year we did it 2 weeks after the council meeting. And I think we need to do that again, have it.
The times they've changed, been different from year to year based on who was on the council and what they were doing, so the time is really up to y'all. If y'all, I know Ms. Jerry works out of town. And so if an evening meeting would be better than, we had a midday, we had evening.
I would personally prefer to have an evening meeting.
Evening meeting.
Okay, so 6 o'clock works. Okay. So do y'all just wanna set that one and then go from, and set another one?
6 p.m.
Because we'll have a council meeting, one week after that, we can set the next one, the next council
Yeah,
meeting.
we said that.
Let's choose a date, yeah.
July 12th.
July 12th at 6 p.m.
And the second meeting would be when?
Just decided at
At the council
July
meeting.
The 18th council meeting, when they make a decision.
Sounds like a plan.
Schedule another one.
Okay.
Get closer to the time, we have to move forward.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion. I make a motion that we set our first budget meeting for July the 12th at 6 p.m.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Ma'am? The survivor in sections 551.072 and 551.074 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, City Council is going to retire into closed session at
6:51.
6:51 p.m. in order to discuss possible regiving of the lots owned by the city of Lone Star, the Edgemont, and the appointment of an associate judge to the municipal court. One, we're reconvening open session to review, discussion, possible action on the rebidding of the lots listed for sale in the Edgemont subdivision. We had no viable bids. There were no bids to consider. 8-2. Excuse me. It's the comment on it, that's what we reviewed. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we table putting the property back up for bids for the time being.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 8-2, action on the appointment of associate judge to the municipal court.
Alright. I make a motion that we appoint Tina Sparks as associate judge to municipal court with the criteria that she holds that position when the judge authorizes it, or the mayor of the city.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Ma'am?
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mona gets in the film.
Hey, Randy,
Yes, sir.
can I say one thing?
Yes, the meeting's over.
Since it's over, on the vote round, open it up. I sure wish y'all wouldn't open it up right now because
I thought we did.
y'all open it up. I need some time to get those trees down, and I don't want to take the responsibility. Somebody come underneath there and I push a tree down, it lands on their vehicle. I don't want that responsibility.
Did you open it back up?
On the days that you're not gonna, or that you're gonna be tearing trees down, we can just take it off.
Police line.
Those trees are tall, and I'm gonna have to take them yonder way towards the parking area.
We'll take it off like the night before or something like that, just to
We
restrict.
can close the boat ramp for that particular day or two. At the exact times whenever you're gonna take them down, we'll close them 24 hours in advance.
Yeah, but people's not gonna, they're gonna drive down in there, and it's just gonna cause one big confusion. And like I say, and it won't take, it shouldn't take me long.
How long would you, when you started, how long?
I gotta wait on dig test, and I doubt there's any lines or anything down in there, but I won't be sure before I start digging. And once he clears it and says there's nothing there, then, I may start either Friday, no, I gotta go Tyler Friday. I may start Saturday, start taking them down,
This Saturday,
this coming Saturday.
we haven't opened it back up yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Why don't we just delay, not
Hang on.
open it on
Yeah,
Monday?
just give me at least a week, because I don't know with my house, the way things is, and with my mother, she's in, I don't know how my schedule's gonna be. I'm gonna have to work it around that.
Let's just wait till the trees are down.
Well, you just call me when you've got everything opened up. and-
Okay, that'll work.
If
I
you're doing that,
appreciate
We
it.
did not say when, so you've got a window.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I personally had citizens asking why in the world we're shutting down the ramp during the best boating part of the year. So that's part of my input on why we went ahead and said, let's open it.
Yeah,
So that is a citizen concern, and so we want to allow them to use it as much as we can.
I'll get the trees down as quick as possible, and then plus, we're gonna have to call Bowie Cass, and there's a line that goes to the lights, it runs right across the, park, and there's some trees leaning, and they're leaning too far that way, so I'm gonna have to take the lines, and let them roll them up, where I can
Right.
let them drop that way. But the rest of them, I can take and, throw them to the south.
Sure, okay. I don't think it's gonna be a
We need to
problem.
specify a date so we can open after.
Yeah, as soon as I get them out, and I can take and push the trees, and I've got a guy also, is gonna, come and pick them up and haul them off. And so, the limbs and stuff, I have to take care of that. I'm gonna try to push it off that big bank there where the boats park, the trailers, I'm gonna try to push it off that big bank.